to see you. I don't think they agree with you. 100,000 strong, standing out on the lawn.
Okay, everybody, welcome to X Generation Now. Our reviews here at Generation X Now have one rule. They can be 10 minutes and no longer, because nobody has time for reviews that are longer than 10 minutes. All right, so our reviewers today are Michael. Michael's worked with several Austin bands over the years. Mark has played in several Austin bands over the years. And I'm Paul, and I have no music credentials and shouldn't be reviewing albums. So here we go.
I agree.
Guys, do you have any thoughts on our 10-minute format before we dive into this?
No, we have 9 minutes left. That's my thought.
Okay. All right. So any thoughts on our credentials?
No.
Okay. Okay. So today, our first review here at X Generation Now, we're reviewing the self-titled album by the band Coriky, which is out on Discord Records. So Coriky is from Washington, D.C. They are Ian MacKaye and Joe Lally, previously of Fugazi. Ian was in Minor Threat. Amy Farina, she's the drummer. Joe's the bass player, and Ian is, of course, the guitar player. Everybody sings, and Ian and Amy are a couple, and they have one kid. So kind of dad rock. Discord Records, label formed by Ian MacKaye and Jeff Nelson back in the day. The bio on the Discord website for this band says only this. Says they were formed in 2015. Coriky did not play their first show until 2018. They have recorded one album. They hope to tour. The album was recorded with Don Zentera at Inner Ear Studios in Arlington, Virginia. And he and the studio, they've also recorded Minor Threat, Fugazi, the Teen Idols, Rites of Spring, Foo Fighters. So a lot of the DC hardcore bands have recorded there. So a little background really quickly. Fugazi started in '87. They ended in 2003. They released 7 records. Ian MacKaye and Amy then started a band called The Evens. They put out 3 records. Joe Lally has put out 3 solo records. And he recently put out an album with Fugazi's Brendan Canty, sort of a jazz rock thing, and they are the Mesthetics.
Not very jazzy.
Not very jazzy?
No, just craziness. Very cool.
I watched a little of their Tiny Desk performance, and I was liking it. It was, yeah, more rock. So the reviews are calling this record the post-punk or indie. Nobody knows what Coriky means. It's maybe a dice game. There's no photos of the band. There's no videos on YouTube. So that's kind of classic Ian MacKaye.
There's no T-shirts.
Nothing. These guys are, I guess.
I was going to wear my Fugazi T-shirt for this shoot, but I don't have one because there isn't any.
Right. Yeah. So they're kind of mysterious. One thing, there's a recent interview with this guy Nardwar. If you don't know who that is, look him up. He's very interesting fella. And in that interview, Ian says Coriky started playing in the basement for 5 years, took 4 years to do a show. And really the only fact or tidbit was that the album release was pushed because of COVID. So it came out a couple weeks after it was supposed to. It's received pretty good reviews. It has an 85 Metacritic score. Okay, Mark, let's hear your take on this record. And you don't have much time.
Can we listen to a little bit?
Sure. All right. Let's start with Clean Kill, track 1.
Oh, better get to the point. So, yeah, I'll talk about this record because, can we stop it?
Yeah. All right.
Fade it out.
So
I can't
So
do
I
that.
love this record, and I've listened to it maybe 20 times in the past week or so. I spent a lot of time with it. I love it. The thing that really stands out for me is how much of a badass Joe Lally is, because the evens are cool, but it's pretty mellow and pretty subdued. And hearing this reminds me of what's great about Fugazi is that sure they're a post-hardcore punk band, but man, they lay down some heavy grooves. From the very beginning of the first EP, you get into the bass and drums of Fugazi, and I hear that back again with Coriky, and that's why I really like this record. It's quirky. There's some wobbly guitar stuff that Ian MacKaye has always been kind of really good at. But what really stands out is how well the rhythm section really holds down the grooves on nearly every song.
Gotta agree. Michael, what do you think?
Well, I mean, nobody really said that I liked the record to begin with, so I might be playing devil's advocate here. I think it's well done. It doesn't really do anything for me as far as like new music is concerned. The whole thing to me sounds very like post-punk, late 90s, early 2000s to me, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But there are a few songs on it that really stand out, like Clean Kill catches my attention, Inauguration Day, which I think we'll probably get to these as well. The rest of it doesn't do a whole lot for me. Like I said, it's not like it's a bad record. I just don't feel like it's doing anything super new and interesting. I mean, I think it's great that that they're still putting music together, and it's very obvious that they've been playing together for a while. Obviously, through all their experience recording bands and playing in bands. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's a solid record. It just, for me, it reminds me of an era that's passed for a while, and for me,
Yeah,
like
but shit comes back.
no, everything is cyclical for sure. I mean, I like to put records in like two different categories. It's like, if I'm going to pay money for vinyl, would I pay money for this on vinyl? And the answer would probably be no.
But it's
But I
only
listen to
$9.49 because that's
their model.
the
That's their
badass
business
part.
model.
that's the Discord business model. You don't pay more than $10 for a record. You don't pay more than $5 for a show.
Yeah.
So
Well, okay, so my side of it, I get what you're saying, Michael. I guess there's a nostalgia factor for sure. But I like it. I say yes. I think it's funky, like Mark says. Some of the lyrics are political, like Inauguration Day, obviously, flashing to the 2016 inauguration. Then some of the lyrics are more sort of oblique. Beautiful is dirtier, beautiful is blurrier. I don't know what it means, but I like it. I think it's cool. I like when Amy and Ian sing together. I think that they sound great together, and that's what sort of distinguishes it from a Fugazi record for me. That's what I'm kind of into, and I miss Fugazi, and this like gives me what I miss in Fugazi, but with a little bit more because of the singing with the two of them, and then the funkiness, and then also when all three of them sing. Like at
let's
the end of that BQM.
talk about the aesthetics of Revolution Summer and what it meant, right? For me, it was a real important time because here's a band who was very critical of the government and standing up and doing social work, which has kind of been the norm for a long time. And so that kind of carries through. The reason I wanted to hear Inauguration Day was I read an article where they played a show in Virginia, in Charlottesville, and it was free, and they played it in a house party, and they gave out these large printed lyric sheets for Inauguration Day so that all 200 people that attended the show can all sing it in unison, which is exactly the kind of cool shit that Fugazi used to do, right?
Yeah, I read that article too. That's cool.
That's really awesome. Let's play a little bit of Inauguration Day. And while we do that, we've got 45 seconds, guys. 10 minutes goes fast. Michael, final thoughts.
I mean, I think it's a solid record. I think it's well produced. The songs are solid. There's not a clunker on the record. It just, for me, harkens back to a period that I feel like is saturated with a lot of bands that kind of sound the same. But it's nice to see them maturing and still making music together that's relevant.
I think everybody should live with it for a while, including my buddy.
Yeah, Michael, come on.
Walk around
All
the block with headphones.
It did.
So that's a wrap. That's our first 10-minute review. Bye.